Let's clear something up, because this confusion keeps being repeated. The indigenous peoples of the Americas were not black people in the way that term is used today. Regardless of how dark some individuals or tribes may have appeared to Europeans, all indigenous Americans trace back to the same ancestral population that migrated into the Americas thousands of years ago, commonly through Beringia. Genetics, archaeology, and anthropology all point to this shared origin, a population distinct from West and Central African populations that black Americans descend from. Now here's where people get it twisted. Skin tone is not identity. As indigenous populations spread throughout North, Central, and South America over thousands of years ago, they adapted to different environments. In hotter, sunnier regions like parts of Mexico, the Southwest, and closer to the equator, many groups develop darker skin. In other regions, you see a wide range of complexion. That's normal human adaptation, not evidence of a completely different origin. So when Europeans described some native people as dark, black, or Negro, they were often speaking loosely about appearance, not identifying them as the same population as Africans. And that distinction matters because today, some people are trying to take skin tone alone and use it to claim indigenous identity, while ignoring tribal affiliation, culture and language, historical continuity, genetic evidence.
But here's the reality.
Indigenous nations never identified themselves by race or skin color the way modern society does. That kind of color-based labeling is largely a European construct that came later. Tribes identified by nation, clan, language, community, not by who is darker. So using skin tone to say this person is black, therefore the original Americans were black, is not only inaccurate, it's applying a modern racial framework to people who didn't even think that way. Bottom line, dark skin doesn't equal African ancestry, and it definitely doesn't prove, it's definitely not proof of being the original Americans. Indigenous Americans are exactly what history, science, and living tribal nations show, a distinct people with their own origins, not something that can be redefined based on appearance alone.